8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. The President says the government officials should work through clear understanding of their duties and people's aspirations. The Media Minister says the country achieved many victories by facing the challenges in an effective manner. The Elections Commission is getting ready to commence the registration of new parties from this month. Coronavirus, 320 new infections recorded. Sri Lanka confirms 826 new COVID-19 recoveries and the total tops 36,000. 5 more senior brigadiers promoted to Major General. And in news overseas, Brexit, new era for the UK as it completes separations from the European Union. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the local news. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says the government officials should work through clear understanding of their duties and people's aspirations. The officials should exhibit good-mannered practices whilst at duty. The President made these remarks at a meeting with the ministers and staff members held at the Presidential Secretariat today. The work declaration of the President's staff was conducted under the chairmanship of the President's Secretary, Dr. P.B. Jayasundara. The declaration focused on efficient and effective involvement in government services to achieve the targets of Vistas of Prosperity. Minister K.L. Rambukalla says the country achieved many victories by facing the challenges in an effective manner. Last year, many world countries faced difficulties due to COVID-19 pandemic. Those countries were pushed back due to this reason. However, if any country wants to recover and overcome from this situation, that should focus on a target line. The minister made these remarks while addressing the media heads and other ministry officials at a special ceremony this morning to officially commence the work for the year. This meeting was held at the auditorium of the Government Information Department. Many officials, including the chairman of the institutions coming under the purview of the ministry, attended the meeting. The Elections Commission is getting ready to commence registration of the new parties from this month. The decision was taken by the Commission when it met yesterday. Once the recommendations are submitted to the Commission, a relevant Gazette notification will also be published in the near future. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. Sri Lanka has registered 320 new positive cases of COVID-19 today, says the Department of Government Information. The newly identified patients were identified as close contacts of the earlier cases linked to the Paliyagoda fish market cluster. Following the new development, the total number of virus infections confirmed in the country reached 43,619. 7,260 active cases are still receiving treatment at selected hospitals and treatment centers across the country. Sri Lanka also witnessed 204 fatalities from the virus since the outbreak of the pandemic last year. The Ministry of Health says 826 more patients infected with COVID-19 were discharged from the medical care today upon returning to health. Thereby, the total number of recoveries from the virus recorded in Sri Lanka reached 36,155. Majority of the recuperations were recorded by Punane Treatment Centre, that was 133, Gallala Treatment Centre 44, Hambantota District General Hospital 43, Samanalavawa Treatment Centre 42, Hikkadua Treatment Centre 42, Bingiriya Treatment Centre 32, Panideniya Treatment Centre 30, Galgamuwa Base Hospital 30, Darga Town Treatment Centre 29, Krishnapuram Treatment Centre in Kilinochchi 28, Amilipidia Treatment Centre 26, Valigama Treatment Centre 25 and Dr. Neville Fernando Teaching Hospital 24. Chief Epidemiologist Dr. Sudath Samaravira says COVID-19 vaccine jabs is expected to be provided to 20% of Sri Lankans in the first half of this year. Addressing a press conference held today, he said people around the world can be hopeful about the COVID-19 vaccine this year. Dr. Samaravira added that the World Health Organization has promised to provide vaccines for 20% of Sri Lankan population through COVAX, which is a global initiative aimed at working with vaccine manufacturers to provide countries worldwide equitable access to safe and effective vaccines once licensed and approved. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. The president says the government officials should work through clear understanding of their duties and people's aspirations. The media ministry says that the country achieved many victories by facing challenges in an effective manner. The Elections Commission is getting ready to commence the registration of new parties from this month. Coronavirus, 320 new infections recorded. Sri Lanka confirms 826 new COVID-19 recoveries and the total tops 36,000. 5 more senior brigadiers promoted to Major General. And that was the local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The main news story for tonight, the accidents in the new year have dropped by 50%. The National Hospital says there were 111 road accidents reported by last night. 3 fire accidents were also reported. Accordingly, it is reported that there is a drop in road accidents by 56% compared to last year. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
In Washlight tonight, the consumers complain about price hikes of certain essential goods. Some errant traders have increased the prices arbitrarily. They say the price hike is done due to various reasons, including transport cost and unnecessary overheads due to COVID-19 situation. As a result, low-income families are affected. This is for the attention of the Consumer Affairs Authority. That came to you in Washlight, and now we move on to the headlines of the world news. Brexit, new era for the UK as it completes separation from the European Union. Australia changes the national anthem to reflect indigenous past. Brexit, Gibraltar gets UK-Spain deal to keep open border. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the world news. A new era has begun for the United Kingdom after it completed its formal separation from the European Union. The UK stopped following EU rules at 2300 hours GMT as a replacement arrangements for travel, trade, immigration and security cooperation came into force. Boris Johnson said the UK had freedom in our hands and the ability to do things differently and better now the long Brexit process was over. Australians will sing a different version of their national anthem from 1st January after Prime Minister Scott Morrison announced a change to the words yesterday. The anthem will no longer refer to Australia as young and free in an attempt to reflect the country's long Indigenous history. The announcement was a surprise but welcomed across the government. Mr. Morrison said he hopes the change will create a spirit of unity. Spain has reached a deal with the UK to maintain free movement to and from Gibraltar once the UK formally leaves the EU today. To avoid a harder border, Gibraltar will join the EU's Schengen zone and follow other EU rules, while remaining a British overseas territory. The deal was announced by Spanish Foreign Minister Arantxa González just hours before the UK exits the EU. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. Brexit, new era for the UK as it completes separation from the European Union. Australia changes national anthem to reflect Indigenous past. Brexit, Gibraltar gets UK-Spain deal to keep open border. That was the world news, and on to development news. Expert financial planner and advisor NDB World is setting the wheels in motion to prepare for the dawn of the new year 2021. Head of Private Wealth Management, Laknanda Dimyan, said that planning for financial security and stability is of paramount importance and the one that you should definitely focus on during the coming new year. This is an area of life and business that have an immense impact on your future and the future of those depending on you. This new year, our resolution is even stronger as we focus on the future needs and wants of our clients, he noted. With that, we move on to sports news, and in basketball, Devin Booker scored 25 points and made 7 assists as his Phoenix Suns beat Utah Jazz and moved 4-1 for the first time since the year 2009. Teammates Jay Crowder and Mikal Bridges made 16 points each in a 106-95 win in the Western Conference. Elsewhere, the Houston Rockets earned their first victory of the season with James Harden netting 33 points in a 122-119 win of the Sacramento Kings. John Wall added 22 points in his first game after a 2-year injury layoff. That was the sports news. Business news coming up. The Commercial Bank of Ceylon PLC has announced the launch of CBC Finance Limited, the bank's fully owned licensed non-bank financial institution, formerly known as Serenib Finance and Indira Finance. The formal renaming of the entity acquired by the bank in the year 2014 marks the completion of its transition into the Commercial Bank Group. The restructured company will operate under its new name and new corporate logo from the 30th of December 2020, the bank said. That was the business news, and economic news follows.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And in economic news, the Sri Lankan stock market ended 2020 on a positive note yesterday, marking a year in which the Colombo Stock Exchange has seen the indices indicate noteworthy resilience and attract record-breaking levels of trading activity. Benchmark or share price index closed 2020, recording a growth of 10.5%, the highest annual increase in the index seen since the year 2014, and the only 12th occasion the index has seen a double-digit percentage growth in CSE's 35-year history. The ASPI ended the year 2020 on 6,774.22 points, and Sri Lanka's ASPI was also recorded as the best performing stock market index for the month of September for the year 2020, with the index recording a remarkable 12% growth during the month. That was economic news, and the weather report to conclude.
Hello, Buddha. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And finally, the weather report. The Met Department says showers will occur at times in the northern, eastern, north central and Nuga provinces and in the Hambantota, Nuwara Eliya and Matale districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere during the evening hours. Meanwhile, fairly heavy showers, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Galle and Mathura districts. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. And before we conclude this bulletin of the news, let's get back to the headlines once again. The President says the government officials should work through clear understanding of their duties and people's aspirations. The Media Minister says the country achieved many victories by facing the challenges in an effective manner. The Elections Commission is getting ready to commence registering the new parties from this month. Coronavirus, 320 new infections recorded. Sri Lanka confirms 826 new COVID-19 recoveries and the total tops 36,000. 5 more senior brigadiers promoted to Major General. And on news overseas, Brexit new era for the UK as it completes separation from the European Union. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news. And before I do that, let me wish all our dear listeners, near, far, and everywhere, all the very best for the year 2021. May it be a year that brings you happiness, peace, and joy. And of course, to our two lovely hosts on the other side of the glass panel, I think I should say this. Suba aluth avuruddak wewa Indrani and Iniya puttandu vaalthukal Victor Raj. All the very best to you.